on Fox News yesterday, J.D. Vance, the supposed more sort of like thoughtful conservative, sort of like populist conservative, like the one who understood the dynamic of what was happening, but was responsible and thoughtful. Well, now he's running for office. And so, of course, that all gets jettisoned. And what he has to do is go and take the knee and ask for the forgiveness of Donald Trump. This is like one of those like Jane Goodall videos where you see the the gorillas holding out their hand to show their fealty. Here it is, J.D. Vance on Fox News.
You met with former President Trump earlier this year. It's a coveted endorsement in these primaries for sure. And as you know, there are reports out there that say that you have these deleted tweets that come from 2016 where you heavily criticized the president, that you were voting for somebody else. One, can you confirm for us that those were in fact your tweets and that you did in fact delete them? And if so, what's changed?
Sure. Well, like a lot of people, I criticized Trump back in 2016, and I'd ask folks not to judge me based on what I said in 2016, because I've been very open about the fact that I did say those critical things, and I regret them, and I regret being wrong about the guy. I think that he was a good president. I think he made a lot of good decisions for people, and I think he took a lot of flack. And as you probably appreciate, Alicia, you know, I've taken a lot of flack myself over the last few years for standing up for the president's voters, but also standing up for the agenda. And I think that's the most important thing is not what you said 5 years ago, but whether you're willing to stand up and take the heat and take the hits for actually defending the interests of the American people, because that's what this business of politics should be all about.
Are you concerned that this is going to become a gift to some of your primary challengers?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure they'll use it against me. And of course, I think they have baggage of their own when it comes to President Trump and when it comes to other issues. But I think my advantage in this race is that we're talking, and I'm talking about real issues. That's the most important thing.
Not to the Republican primary voter. It's not. Sad. Very, very sad. The bootlegger, Jesus.
The idea of taking the heat and taking the hits. Here's a question that I would ask. Well, then why did you delete them?
Yeah, somebody who takes the heat doesn't apologize. You just take the heat.
Well, but also, like, what were you hoping to do by deleting those tweets? I mean, if you're going to take the heat and take responsibility for the fact that you were in some way less than laudatory towards our dear leader, why did you delete them? Or another question would have been like, when did you have this change of heart?
Yeah, can I just read one of the tweets? In October 2016, Trump makes people I care about afraid, immigrants, Muslims, etc. Because of this, I find him reprehensible. Like, I'm curious about, like, were you wrong then? Or was the fact that Trump was such a good president make it, worth it that he scared those immigrants and Muslims?
Yeah, the over 600,000 dead might disagree with his assessment on his presidency, but...
I'm just curious as to what the good decisions he made were that were helpful to Muslims and to immigrants, or what the decisions, and at what point did JD see the light? I mean, that would be an interesting thing to examine. But there it is. If you want to understand what the modern Republican Party is about, and just to be clear, that's not authoritarianism.
No,
right.
But let me just quickly say too, like, that's so perfect to say what the modern Republican Party is about, right? He bent the knee to Trump. He has to show that he expressed his adoration for Trump. And just a few, the Jane Goodall experience. But just years before, when his book came out, Hillbilly Elegy, he was being heralded as the voice for the true red America that the New York Times and that liberals on the coast wanted to perceive red America as. So much like the Lincoln Project, these kinds of conservative voices were fetishized. They're very different, but they all come around. The Lincoln Project was a grift. They wasted all their money. They enriched themselves. They also had no effect on the election. And then J.D. Vance comes around and licks the boot of Trump. All of these facile notions that liberals create to make themselves feel better about who the Republicans are, what the Republican Party is, they always come crashing down eventually.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking to Mark Joseph Stern when we return. Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really? Thank you.